Hi guys, ako nga pala si Kuya Jam Jam. Thank you so much for watching this very short video clip that I thought of doing right now while I'm waiting for my wife. And you know what? Earlier today, I actually facilitated a training in my office, and I was kind of really just drawn to the whole discussion of really mindsetting people in terms of how they should act in terms of relating with other people. As I began the discussion, there was one big topic that I talked about. It's actually talking about the 3E's. If you're familiar with the 3E's, it's experiences, environment, and also education. Wherein the biggest point is that given that I am currently connected with a company that caters to a clientele of Chinese people, and of course I'm in the Philippines, the biggest point there was that people, not just in the Philippines, but even in other countries, or even foreigners who are actually in our country, have these 3E's, and each individual has their own 3E. So what do I mean by when we talk about 3E's? When we talk about the first E, which is what we call experiences, is that people from the start of the day, from the past, have already had their list of experiences, and these experiences have actually shaped their mind, shaped them as individuals to believe certain things. And aside from shaping them, these things become what we call precursors to in a sense their current state as an individual. So what do I mean by this is that, kunyari, when you talk to somebody and you saw this person is really grumpy, masungit in Tagalog, or here in the Philippines, and the reason is that this person was not born masungit or not born grumpy, but rather there was an underlying reason why this person became grumpy. Probably because of his experiences, meaning that maybe somebody mistreated him or her earlier, or probably they woke up late and they didn't really in a sense have a good mood. And those are experiences, and those are valid reasons that actually shape an individual in becoming who in terms of how he's gonna act at the present time. Secondly, we talked about education, and the biggest thing that I shared to the people that I trained in terms of education is that yes, in reality, people are in a sense who they are today because of the type of education that they had. It may be of high school education, meaning yung pagtanggap nila sa impormasyon was actually greatly affected by that. Okay, the limitations of intelligence and of course of learning. But more than that, I told them that when we talk about education, it talks about what they have been taught by people throughout the years. It may be their parents. People consider themselves na mas magalang because they were taught as children na maging magalang. For example, in my case, wherein I am a Tagalog, and we are used to magmano. But at the same time, if you would go to other areas here in the Philippines, people are not used to doing the mano or the bless gesture, and it affects really. And if someone does it, he is considered, for example, here in Metro Manila, na magalang. But if another does not do that, he may or may not be considered na hindi magalang. But at the end of the day, if that person came from another cultural setup, baka mamaya it was not his or her way of pagiging magalang. For example, my wife, hindi naman sila nagmamano, but they kiss their parents. So that's a big difference. That's what we call education. And sometimes even issues, alam naman natin yan, political stance, beliefs, and their attitude towards people who are contrary to whatever they believe in has been also taught by and shared by education. And the third E is what we call environment. When you go to different places, people have different attitudes. People have different manners of communication. May mga tao na talagang brusko kausapin, di ba? For example, earlier today, I was training riders. So ito yung mga brusko na tao. Because of the environment of the riders, kailangan sila maging brusko, kailangan sila maging when we talk about these people, they're kind of like that. They're built that way. Yun yung tinuro at ma-mention sa akin kanina ng operations manager. And those 3E's are uniquely set for different people, and in a sense, it does not fit all. Iba-iba po kasi ang mga tao. We cannot say na isang tao ay may ganitong combination ng 3E's. For other people, it works the same way. It is different, magkakaiba. So what is the point of this short live session that I'm sharing right now? It's this: realize na ang mga tao ay iba-iba. Realize that people are going through different situations. So us as individuals, we have to be very, very careful not to judge people, okay? Not to say negative things about people without properly understanding people for what they're going through. I'm not telling you na in a sense, i-baby mo lang sila. But of course, there are things na dapat people should understand that there's already a social norm to be followed, regardless of whatever feelings that they have. And really, we must understand that, because hindi naman pwede sa mundong to na lahat tayo balat sibuyas, especially in the workplace. And that's what I'm teaching the people that I'm training. Know your limitations, and by means of what, understanding the people that you will be relating with. Okay? So, ganun lang yun. Well, anyway, it's just a short video for me. I hope you learned something. It's the 3E's of are very, very important in relating with people. Thank you so much, and may God bless you all. And of course, again, ako si Kuya Jam Jam, ang kuyang naniniwala. Good evening.